Hey gentlemen! Exclamation point. God of War: The Greek Collection remasters have been rumored now. I don't think we have ever seen so many remasters in gaming history released in such a short time, especially from one publisher. Do you consider this generation to be the worst in terms of fresh IPs or even good quality new games? I know we have Astrobot, but come on! Exclamation point.
Right.
And Sony is still the dominant player on the market, which doesn't give me too much hope for the future. Cheers all! Exclamation point. I think at this point, the only sort of classic God of War game you can play on the PlayStation 5 is the remaster of God of War 3.
Yep.
Which came out on PlayStation 4 and obviously just runs on PlayStation 5. I kind of get the point that Anxiously Chrono Triggered is making here, John, but I kind of would like to see the Greek collection.
Well, they're actually wrong in terms of saying that this is the worst generation for remasters. That's absolutely false. It's the PS3 era. As soon as the publishers realized that they could re-release HD remasters of games, the floodgates exploded. There were so many HD remaster releases that generation. Like, they just kept coming. But I think the reason for the perception of it being the worst is that clearly they are having a difficult time getting new original software out the door. And this seems to be a general game development problem that everyone's facing to some degree. The platform holders, especially Sony and Microsoft, are definitely facing this. Getting big first-party stuff out the door is just taking more and more time and money than it ever did before. And as a result, like, they're limited in terms of how much software they have. And I think that's where all these re-releases factor into it. It's just like, you know, it's an easier, cheaper way to get more software out there for people that may not have played it. And I'm not really, and that's the thing. It's a separate issue. I'm not against these sort of re-releases inherently, just because, like, as long as their release doesn't prevent the release of an original game. Right. And I think in most cases, they're picking teams to do the development work on the stuff that are specifically there to make these re-releases. It's not so much that, oh, we're not getting a sequel or a new game in a series because of a re-release. I don't think that's really the case. And as long as it's not the case, it's fine. I think the bigger issue really is just like, there's not enough new software from the first parties right now. But yeah, for this collection, I mean, I can't say I care that much, but I guess why not? You know,
well, it's not on PC for starters, which I think is a good reason to do.
Yeah, if they do this on modern platforms and PC like that, then yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm. I also think, you know, in terms of singling out Sony, I mean, Nintendo basically brought the entire Wii U slate over to Switch. You know,
yeah.
So you know, let's, and I think that generally was a good thing. Alex, what do you think about this?
I think this one makes more sense than almost every other one that's been announced more recently.
Simply because the games are older and less available?
Older, less available. Mainly that, yeah. I mean, they're technically available somewhere. Like, if you just play them on an emulator, right? We've talked about PS2 emulation on the channel quite a lot. But I think getting them out there, getting them on PC would be nice. Though I do wonder, once again, about the strange priorities. I think there was a rumor that this is like Nixie's involvement. And this is... Yeah, and this is like the Greek collection. So it's all these like PSP games, which would presumably be emulated. I don't think they'd be rewritten to be x86 EXE natives. I don't think so. Like, that seems like a lot of work. Like, what if people want things like The Last Guardian and Bloodborne to be better in a technical state on a modern stuff, and bring out the Greek collection and using Nixie's resources for that again? If that is the truth, it seems like, once again, like, what is going on at Sony that they just ignore that Bloodborne thing? They just really ignore it. But yeah, I'm fine with the Greek collection. I'm not actually so angry about it.
You're not angry. That's good.
I'm not angry.
You're
about
not as angry as Kratos.
I'm not as Kratos. The Greek collection.
Absolutely.
How could he?
I don't really know what to make about this. I'd quite like to see the Greek collection as such. I think there is an accessibility problem, as long as they don't. What was the fourth God of War game? Ascendance?
Ascension.
Oh, I called it Judgment. I'm thinking of Gears of War.
God of War Ascension, yes. And I've literally just proved it's quite an overlooked game.
It is,
and I'd love to see it because it was actually really, really technologically great. So I'd like to see that one as well.